Hello, hello. We've been anticipating your arrival. Leave your burdens outside the door and come on in and be comfortable. We're going to read chapter 4 of The Flower of Freedom today, and we have been waiting and watching for you to come. Settle in. We really want you to enjoy your time with us. This is The Flower of Freedom by Deborah Reeves, and all rights to the presentation and to the book are reserved. All settled? Great. 4 is called Gratitude. One day, while Oscar was away, a woman came to call. Oscar had warned the girls that one day someone would come. He said whoever came should only be admitted if the person told them that they had been sent from Camp X. The young woman, who wore a very pretty suit, said that she had been scheduled to visit her parents in Montreal, and her commander had asked her to interview the young women to learn all that they had learned from the men at the chateau. The girls could not leave her standing in the hallway, so they offered her tea or coffee, but they did not give one straight answer until the lady admitted that she was from Camp X. Then they were ready to tell her anything she wanted to know. As it turned out, the girls knew more than they realized. The young visitor was a skilled questioner who helped them realize the details that were important. In the isolation of the chateau, the Nazi men felt free to speak, and the girls were often guests at elaborate dinners where many topics were discussed. Even though the war appeared to be turning in the favor of the Allies, any little detail might save lives, the interviewer told them. The girls were so grateful for their own lives that they were eager to share any detail they remembered, even though it took them back to a part of their lives that they had hoped to leave behind forever. They often said that they were not sure about certain things because they spoke only a few words of German. The woman took notes, and when she left, she thanked them, saying that she would call her superior officer right away. The girls were glad to help those who had helped them in their hour of greatest need. In the following days, the young women dove into life in Montreal. Some things were strange and new, but they found Montrealers friendly and eager to accommodate them. Their French, as listeners observed, made them sort of special, and they quickly made friends. They found bargains at thrift shops and second-hand stores, and their pennies went surprisingly far. Some of the women in the shops were standoffish when Anne-Marie introduced her friend as Madame Saint Laurent. One woman went so far as to ask, "How did a little slip of a thing like you capture Bertrand's heart?" They simply smiled in response. When he returned, Oscar asked around and learned about the best baby doctor in the area. One day the girls took a cab to the doctor's office while Oscar was on duty again. They came home slightly shaken because their due date was sooner than they had expected. Reality was upon them. When Oscar arrived back a week later, they told him that the first baby's birth was imminent and the second was expected within 2 weeks. They told him that they had already been to tour the hospital and they liked the doctor very much. Anne-Marie told Oscar that the experience at the hospital had been thrilling. "Oh, I wish I could be a doctor. I would try to be just like Dr. Donovan," she said wistfully. "He reminds me of my father. Before the war, everyone in our community called him the good doctor. The Nazis killed him on the day they took over the chateau. You would probably be a great one too, Anne-Marie. Good thing that I have a month off if the babies are on their way, he crowed. Have you decided what you will name your baby? He asked his wife. We wanted to talk to you about that, Oscar. Anne-Marie spoke for both of them, as she usually did. We thought we might like to name one Desmond or Desdemona, and the other Oscar or Olivia. What do you think? Asked Anne-Marie as Colette shyly nodded. Oscar was obviously gobsmacked and touched. Des would like that, I bet. You're not really going to call a kid Oscar, are you? Desmond told me that he called me that because he thought I was like Oscar Wilde and he liked the wild part. If I get a say in it, and there's no reason that I should, I wonder if you'd consider naming a baby girl after my mother Marie. She was really a lovely woman. We could name a boy Bertrand, said Colette in a whisper. Bertie for short. And it was clear that Oscar did not feel worthy to have anyone named after him. Are you kidding me? His wife asked. You're my hero. I cannot think of anyone I would rather name my child after. And she looked at Oscar with a sincerity and a clarity in her blue eyes that made him realize that he truly was in love with his wife. He looked down, and she was still wearing the pawn shop ring that his commander had given him. He realized that he had never seen it off her finger, not even for a moment, since he gave it to her. He hid his feelings by going to the fridge for beer. He came back and he said, Hold it! Don't babies need lots of stuff? We have to go shopping. And off they went. They returned 2 hours later with so much stuff that Caddy had to help them carry it all in. 2 evenings later, Anne-Marie dialed off Oscar's phone and woke him up. Oscar, it's time. Colette's water just broke, he said. He called a cab that took the 3 of them, well, almost 4 of them, to the hospital. Anne-Marie and Oscar had to wait in the waiting room for 4 hours, and then they were summoned into the hospital room when Dr. Donovan came out to tell them Mother and baby are doing just fine. Oh, hi there, Anne-Marie. They were then introduced to little Bertie. They all cried happy tears. He was a lovely little fellow. Welcome to this beautiful world, my little friend, said Oscar, cradling the boy. Welcome to our lives. His wife fell in love twice that day. That's the end of this chapter.